You also mentioned that each individual from a foreign country also has some form of registration that is traded to the SEC or DC or New York. How to check that out? Get the information from the SEC or the registering body. Well, every birth certificate has a registration number on it. Your Social Security is under GMEU or GMEU or G. I have the link. Just request the link. You can type in a social and it'll show you all the countries or companies, excuse me, investing in that Social Security. Referring to birth certificate, it was 32-pound watermark banknote traded and having a CUSIP, CUSIP number when comparing every. So for me to say which number on there is the CUSIP, just know this. And ask yourself the question, because this isn't something that I need to go down a rack, because I've done it so many times, and try to, because there's a lot of videos out there that explain this and show this. But when you are born, the title certificate of live birth is signed by the mom, whereby you may not want to sign that title because of the names that they use for the mother as being parent and informant on the signature line, which means one who turns one over as the judicially decreed guardian. That's what that means on that signature line. So I am agreeing that I am a judicially decreed guardian by the state, turning one over, my child's life equivalent, the proof of life, to the state. The state puts it on 32-pound watermark banknote paper. It says in the corner of this banknote paper, Pacific banknote paper, or Pacific banknote, or American banknote. And this is now what's known as a security. And all securities must be registered. All securities must be registered at the SEC to prove it's a security, which means an instrument. The word signature, so when you're putting your signature on government forms, the word signature in Black's Law is one who can attest to the validity of the instrument. Now, to have a security instrument, now you have a negotiable title that is being registered. They take it, they put it in a batch of other Orange County, California registered, and it's traded publicly. To find the proof of that is nothing more than tracing the CUSIPs, tracing the socials, and you will see that people invest in you. And for that investment, they get a 2-to-1, a 3-to-1, whatever the return is on the bonds, because this is now a security instrument and a bond. And they're guaranteeing that that child is still alive and still producing and still, because otherwise then there'd be a death certificate. And then upon the proof of the death, and that money gets pulled out of the treasury and gets sent to the International Monetary Fund, which disperses it according to the bankruptcy rules or what have you. But guys, everybody, why would a country, let's look at it this way, why would Australia have to register at the SEC of the United States in the District of Columbia? Jurisdiction number one, all placed under DC. It's all placed under the goddess of death and destruction. Okay, Columbia, whatever. Why would they pick DC and put it, every country, corporation, as a registered agent and approved security trading company at the SEC? So they can trade the persons, and it can be managed and controlled through the whore known as the United States, and its tentacles under the beast system. Do your work. Find out. I'm not going to dig on this one. I already know the surface stuff. I've already seen the numbers. What I haven't seen is I've never gone to the DTC and seen the security instruments in the vault. And I've never gone and seen how exactly these companies are paid, whether it's 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, or 100 to 1. I don't know. I've never seen the certified audited financial reports of these companies that are registered. I've never gone down that far, but I know enough because of this little stupid book here, Black's Law, and what all the definitions mean. I know what a bond is. I know what an instrument is. I know what a signature is. I know what bonded paper is. I know when I'm looking at the GME UI utility and seeing the social have a value of 25, 50, 100, 200 companies investing in that social security number. And I know that every country has a social security number, but sometimes people call it different. I understand that the system and the structure of the whore are relating to employment with a company that is under the SEC, which is under the United States, which is the whore. Okay. And so they use the people's sweat equity over the world through tacit consent, one way or the other, tacit consent, because you continue to operate the social, getting another mortgage, getting another car, instead of spending your time saving and then spending that money as a foundation to purchase the vehicle. And that's it, man. It's pretty simple. I get it, Joseph. You want to get clarity. I just gave you more clarity than probably anybody's ever done before. You would just have to do the legwork to get the physical paperwork proof behind all of it. And but you're asking yourself, why do you want to come out? Or you're asking yourself, why do you want to prove that BCs are bonds? Well, it's on bonded paper. Why do you want to prove that BCs are traded? Well, there's companies investing in you. That's enough to know that your social is the front end employment ID number guaranteed by the collateral, which is the BC. There's always a loan number and the collateral, which is the deed. There's always the employment number and then the collateral, which is the birth certificate. Every country has to have a basis of collateralization as its foundation, and because they've stolen the gold, they've stolen the land, they've in a color of law, and they've now pledged the people against it. Well, guess what? And here's the hardest thing for people, and I'm really going to address the element of China, the element of Australia. Here's the hardest thing, because I was talking to some pretty important people in Australia, and we do know that regimes change, and we do know that structures change. If enough people get sick of it, systems and things change. In this nation, we did re-inhabit the republic lawfully, which means they can't vacate the republic without our permission. Now, in relation to CCP, in relation to Australia, they are so far down the rabbit hole of control. Yeah, you can quit the corporation, and yes, you can come out, but there's another level that needs to happen there. You need to do mass exodus, quit the corporation, and then you need to do mass re-inhabiting the original de jure, or create a new Australia. The land in Australia, according to these people, they've never been able to prove that the land has been acquired properly. Australia, the company, even though it's registered at the SEC, is actually, its main domicile or its main location is in an island off the coast of Australia. So if you did the research on these corporations and where they actually have jurisdiction at, I will bet dime for dollar even China is the same. There is a de jure element of China, a republic that actually serves the people maybe a little bit more, versus the CCP, which does not. Get people to admit it and understand it and all that, it's a whole nother element. I'm going to put you guys on hold for 1 second.